been speaking to who tell us they're afraid for their lives when this bill passes, if this bill passes, that they're afraid to even leave their homes.
Well, anybody who is engaged in an illegal activity should be afraid of the law, shouldn't you? Then there will be no essence of law. But let's be clear about this. The United States in 2021 remains the most dangerous place for homosexuals. As of June 2021, an independent story, a story run by the Independent.
Sir, this is not about the United States. This is about Ghana. This is about Ghana.
Homicide.
This is about Ghana, so I want to focus on Ghana, sir. Hang on. Let me ask the question. Let me ask you the question, sir. This is about Ghana. You are, as part of this bill, legalizing conversion therapy, which UN experts consider torture. Do you believe that homosexuality can be medically treated?
Well, tell me how individuals who are born men and decide to become women.
That's not an answer. Do you believe that people can be cured of homosexuality by some sort of treatment? I apologize. We appear to have lost the MP, Sam George. The connection is not that great. If we can reestablish that, we'll try and come back to him. And before we lost you, we were talking about conversion therapy, which is considered torture, and your bill would legalize that. Do you want to torture people in the name of curing homosexuality?
I was making the point that the individuals who decide to become transgender, who decide to change their sex from male to female, apart from undergoing surgery, also engage in hormonal treatment. Is that torture? Because I don't see how different hormonal treatment is from what you call conversion therapy.
Is not the same as conversion therapy. These are very, very different. This is a false equivalence you're making, sir.
No, what's the difference? I would need for you to
I am not a medical expert, but it's been by UN experts who look into this have considered conversion therapy as torture.
Expert, Larry, if you're not a medical expert, and I'm saying to you that we've spoken to the experts here in Ghana, and there is nothing different because conversion therapy is a hormonal treatment. And I'm saying to you that when individuals choose on their own volition to change their sex, they undergo hormonal treatment. Men go and take estrogen shots to be able to develop female features. And that's the same thing.
That is not the same thing. That is not the same thing. But I want to move away from that because you talked about the United States. You talked about the United States. This American organization held a conference in Accra in 2019. And shortly after, you introduced a bill with the same language, including family values. So you're influenced by a right-wing organization, which is considered one of the most hateful organizations exporting hate around the world. Is that correct?
It can't be farther away from the truth. Larry, I was never, myself and none of the 7 other colleagues of mine was at this conference. In fact, this conference came to my notice after the CNN's David Mackenzie asked me about it. I have had absolutely no contact with the World Council of Families. You describe them in the way in which you want to describe them. But we also have groups from the United States that are supporting LGBTQ rights, which is illegal in Ghana as we speak right now. Section 104 of our Criminal Offences Act makes it criminal. They're already trying to also influence Ghanaian stuff. This bill is in direct response. You say there was a conference here in 2019, a conference I'm unaware about. However, this bill is and I made a statement on the floor of the House in February, and my statement was clear. It was in response to the opening of an LGBTQ plus advocacy office in Ghana in January. That was supported by members of the diplomatic corps.
So you want to make it difficult for anybody to live an open, free life because of who they love in Ghana, and you want them to go to jail for 10 years. You're happy with that?
Well, you haven't read my bill. It's a misinformation to say that anybody who's found guilty of a homosexual have to go to jail for 10 years. That's a misconception you're peddling, and you should not do that.
They can go to jail up to 10 years. This is just one of the many penalties that is in the bill, sir, that you're encouraging Ghanaians to report anybody who is suspected of being LGBTQ. Is that correct?
Larry, I would advise that you put a job at what you're doing, okay? If you want to put a spin on a bill, right? This is my bill that I've passed before Parliament. I'm going to read to you Section 6.3 of the bill, or Clause 6.3 of the bill, or 6.2 of the bill. A person who commits an offense under paragraphs A